Welcome! We'd like to introduce you to a program not only changing the way narratives are written, but one that also explains why a better narrative changes everything. Simply put, NarrativePro is designed to fix all your documentation issues. NarrativePro has been continually refined and has proven itself in the field for more than 10 years. EMS paramedic and president of Pro Software Solutions 2, Philip Goggin, created NarrativePro while working in the EMS and fire service industries for 18 years. He knows exactly what you need to make your job easier. A better, more efficient way to write narrative that will ultimately protect you should you ever have to go to court. In order to remedy documentation issues in the past, you may have employed a simple in-house refresher on report writing, used a built-in narrative generator, or reviewed a paid video series. These are all effective tools, but without consistency and structure, they fail to do the job. In this video, we'll address 4 major issues: loss of revenue, defensibility in court, lack of consistency, and the implementation of Nemesis dataset. Your solution to all your narrative needs is NarrativePro. NarrativePro is an add-on narrative writing software that works with nearly every EPCR on the market, including web-based platforms. Even if you're still using tape recorders, you can use NarrativePro. So you may be asking how NarrativePro will fix the core issues we mentioned earlier. First, we'll address how to decrease lost revenue and denials. NarrativePro offers several key areas that provide the correct warning to make it easier for your billing staff to properly code a call and make it difficult for Medicare and Medicaid to deny it. We'll show you how this is done in just a moment. But first, let's look at how NarrativePro is effective in driving up your revenue that will pay for itself. Here's a working example. We will assume that your ambulance service is getting a 50% billing return on all billed trips, with an average annual income from insurance around $400,000. What this means is that you have to write off almost $400,000 a year in lost revenue. Even though we've seen billing increases up to 26% using NarrativePro, I'm going to use a conservative figure of just 15% as your potential billing increase. So if we take that $400,000 and increase by 15%, you are looking at $60,000 in additional funds just that year. Knowing the average customer investment into NarrativePro is around $2,000, what you have is a net profit of almost $58,000 per year. So what do all these numbers mean? By using NarrativePro, that's almost $4,700 per month you could have available right now. A great example of this is Logan County EMS, located in Paris, Arkansas. In the first year of using NarrativePro, Logan County saw a 24% increase in billing returns, which means they generated almost $150,000 in additional revenue in just 1 year. The only change Logan County EMS made was to add NarrativePro. So let's look at another example with an average ALS1 base rate of about $580. Knowing that Medicare or Medicaid pays about 80%, that makes a true payout of this call around $460. So now we will assume that one of your crew members is using NarrativePro and provide information on one of those key areas that we just mentioned. That information then gets sent to billing, and Medicare, Medicaid pays for the call when they otherwise would have denied it, creating additional revenue of $460. Because you purchased the software for only $470, essentially, you have just paid for that license with that one call. Now, imagine doing that twice a week. At $920 per week times 52 weeks out of the year, you're looking at an increase of just under $48,000. What you're looking at is an investment return of nearly 2,000%. So simply put, NarrativePro is a revenue enhancer. NarrativePro also provides great legal defensibility by delivering well-written, thorough, and complete narratives. NarrativePro offers no-risk errors that are great at providing solid evidence justification and other information that helps lawyers paint a complete picture. You should also consider legal costs. The average hourly rate of a lawyer is around $250. With billing in other areas, most services can't afford a long, drawn-out court case. Just think about how much money you could save by using NarrativePro. NarrativePro not only enhances revenue, but also helps provide cost reduction. Imagine asking 3 or 4 of your medics to write a report right now, and then ask them to write the report again in 48 hours. How close do you think that report will be to the original? Do they have consistency across the board? Does each crew member write in a format that is easily compared to the others? More than likely, the answer is no. Here are a few more questions you should ask yourself. Are the reports that come across your desk thorough and complete? Are they consistent? Do the crews have enough time to write a well-written narrative? Would it help me if they could write a better narrative in a much quicker manner with better results? Finally, are the reports legible and grammatically correct? NarrativePro provides a report that is consistent, grammatically correct, and thorough each and every time. The software will also allow them to write that narrative in less time with a better quality. With a decrease in report writing times, crews are back in service faster, which means one thing: they are getting back to patient care that much sooner. Finally, let's talk about how NarrativePro can improve the QA/QI process. As you know, we use QA/QI to determine whether or not crew members are following protocol and providing proper treatment, which affects patient care. When you or your QA/QI officer receives those reports, the quality can really vary from employee to employee, and it can be difficult to filter through. When you cannot effectively QA/QI, the patient suffers. Because NarrativePro provides a consistent and well-formatted narrative every time, QA/QI is prepared with greater ease and better outcomes, meaning improved patient care. Now that we know what NarrativePro can do, you're probably curious as to why NarrativePro is the best on the market. NarrativePro offers many unique features that make it stand out. Unlike most EPCRs that provide a narrow field of options, NarrativePro gives you the choice to edit each field to fit the exact situation the crew member has to document. You are no longer stuck with canned, generic options. Every selection can be narrated in your own words. Secondly, NarrativePro has absolutely no mandatory fields, which is great because it doesn't force the user to state something that is not accurate or true. Plus, the user never has to double document or be redundant. NarrativePro offers dynamic field options, which means the screen is not cluttered with a lot of options that can become confusing to the not-so-computer savvy. These dynamic options also prompt the user to give more data so that critical information is not missed. Finally, the program has a layout that is very user-friendly and offers a natural, chronological flow. To watch a NarrativePro demonstration, click on the next video.